Hi, welcome back to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. Today we're not doing any tarot readings though. We're going to be doing a flip through and review of the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I don't like making people wait. I know most people come here just to look at the pretty cards. That's what I do when I go to flip through. So we're gonna go ahead and let you see all the cards and then I'll come back with my review. So if you're interested in what I think of this deck, please stick around. Okay, let me get in a little bit closer with you guys. It's hot in my room today. It's Florida. It's doing its thing where it can't decide if it's spring or summer yet. Maybe that's how it is everywhere, but here when it thinks it's summer, it's like 95 degrees, so we can't get a break. So yeah, this deck comes in a very lovely 2-piece box, as you saw in the flip through. I do not have the Oracle. Apparently there was an Oracle before this. I wasn't really into the Oracle and the keywords when I looked through the flip throughs, but I did love this art style, this really cool, whimsical kind of collage style art. But I just really didn't fall in love with it until I saw the flip through of this deck myself. And also, this is one of the few decks where it's like, usually the majors are like the big draw, right? Like when the majors have a lot of depth and symbolism, it pulls people in, and then, you know, the minors are simpler. But it feels like this deck really, really put effort into the minors. They just have so much, I don't know, beauty and like, you know, the depth. Like it feels like they really made the effort to understand it's not just like an artist kind of trying to make their art style fit a deck. Like this one really felt like this artist respects the tarot and every single card in this deck. Now you'll notice in the flip through that there are all the traditional masculine energy cards have a female option, so, or a feminine option. This creator, from what I understand, made this deck thinking that it was going to be an entirely feminine energy deck, and then went back and created the male option cards or the masculine option cards. So I really appreciate that, because I do like having masculine energy in my decks. I do have some completely divine feminine decks as well, but generally when I'm doing readings for other people, I get more use out of them when I have a good balance of the energy. So when I use this deck, I do keep a couple of the female kings, but I take out a few of them too, and I use my male emperor, because my masculine emperor, I can't decide which one I want to say today. My masculine emperor, because that's just how I read the card. It's a better significator for me than if I were to keep the feminine one, but I really enjoy both of them cards, and I like the option that if I want to switch, I can. Like, that's just an amazing thing that you don't have with a lot of other decks. So I'm going to say some of my favorite cards in this deck. Let me see. Let's go through. Let me just... This Nine of Pentacles, like, tell me she's just not absolutely living her best life. You can hear my dog coughing. I'm so sorry. He's very, very old and makes a lot of really weird noises. You know, she's beautiful. And I don't know, is it just me that gets a little Carmen Miranda vibes? I know the kids probably don't know who Carmen Miranda is, but I do. Love that one. And this Four of Pentacles, you know, with the gate and the locks, just so good. And I love that this deck also like covers like the city. Like some cards are like very much like in the city, and some feel like they're out in the countryside, and some feel like they're out on the seashore. You know, and some have that like you know, foreign, you know, they're not all just Eurocentric, you know. Let's see. I love this Page of Swords too on these books. Whenever like there's books involved in like the swords, I really, really love it. I don't know. And any woman who's ever had an intricate hairstyle, oh my goodness, can we relate to this card? If you've ever had 50 bobby pins holding your hair up, you know the pain of this woman. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this like snake woman. Some of these cards just, oh my goodness. Also, I think it was the female, was it? No, it's the cups. When we get to the cups, the female king for the cups is just, woof. Let's see. I also love the Ace of Swords. Like, you know, when we tell you, it's a suit of the mind, and like unlocking that key in the mind. Just, it's beautiful and I adore it. Oh, this King of Cups. Okay, so like, tell you, they have the masculine king and the feminine king, and but look at her, just like massive, and you know, he's beautiful and it's internal, and it reminds you that the cups are feelings, but like this is like all that water, which is also symbolic for your feelings, and some she's passing through and some she's like highly inspecting and making sure that they're okay. Oh my gosh, my dog, I'm gonna lose my mind. And this knight, look at, oh my goodness, look. And like the inclusion in this deck was really nice. The cultural variety. I mean, there could be more, there could always be more, but there was an attempt, and I respect that and I appreciate that. You know, like, I don't know. Like I said, we talked about it, but like how underneath they're fish and kelp, and she's got the little school that she's protecting. Like there's just, and this is, you know, this is the, you know, 10 of Cups. This is a pip, right? This is, it just, but there's still so much to it the more you look at it. Like she just, the artist, Katrin Wildstein. Katrin, I'm not pronouncing that with enough vigor, but just, she really did such a good job. Look at this. This is 7 of Cups. Like this is what I expect in a star card, and this is a minor. This is a minor. Like I love it. I love it so much. Really, and it's so consistent. It's so consistent through the entire deck. If I did get the Orca, it would just be to have something that looks pretty next to this. So I just don't think I will. Queen of Wands. Look at her. Look at her in all her glory. I adore her. I love these cards. Just so beautiful. The Page of Wands, the inquisitive, you know. You know, look at all these. I don't know, just the time frame that she's, you know, reminiscent of, but also with the amount of whimsy and everything that's in it. So nice. I'll get to the, I'm just not getting to the majors. You know. The moon, you know, the moon with like her secrets. Like, also, like if you're into a little bit of cosmic horror, it's like Cthulhu is coming. But also I love that too. Just a little bit of like, is it good or is it bad? With the moon card, you aren't sure. And like, it's just kind of waiting there for you to discover if you're brave enough. And the Tower, I think a lot of people who covered this have covered this Tower card, but just embracing the fall, you know, embracing the change, good or bad, it's coming. You can't stop it. So good. Oh, and the Devil. Okay. Like, I love this card because you don't immediately see the threat. Like, you know, it just looks like this pretty woman on a mushroom. And then as you look closer, you realize she's a little different. You know, like there's just this level of slight malice, you know, malevolence in some of these cards, you know, but yet you don't see it at first. You have to look. You have to really dig into these cards. And the Death card, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just so much beauty coming from something that would be considered macabre and dark, and just showing you that the layers of the Death card, of releasing yourself, allowing yourself to change and grow and shed what you don't need anymore, to be something new, to be something else. Wheel of Fortune has a really nice take, all these cogs like turning, because one thing can affect so much later down the line. One little decision changes everything that happens after, and you don't know that. So, you know, here it's like almost like implying that you can like follow your heart and the rest will follow. And, you know, like I said, there's just so much. The more you look, the more you see. This card, this is one of the reasons I bought this deck. I don't know if people remember the movie Neverending Story and the racing snails. Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Is like, she's a racing snail. I don't know if you remember that movie, please in the comments. I am a Neverending Story kid. I loved that movie, and I can't see this without being like, it's a racing snail, and like, memories. It just gives me good feelings, you know. Hierophant too. The lack of religious overtones in the Hierophant helped me a lot because I don't connect with that energy so much. So this one where it's more of like the student and the pupil, but it's an owl, so like it still implies there's this deep wisdom that they carry that you know, the human pupil may not fully ever understand, but they're attempting it, they're trying. And the little moon back there. Oh, so much going on. Empress too, with her womb, with the fetus in there. Just like I said, it's just got this extra layer and everything. Okay, those are all my favorite cards. I mean, I have more. I mean, I could pick every card out of this deck and be like, it's my favorite, but there's just so much depth and so much consistency, and literally the pips are just as beautiful and as well thought out as the majors, which is, to me, is hard to find in a lot of decks. A lot of deck creators really focus on the majors, and then the minors are kind of either traditional pip style or they're just minimal. A lot of them are minimal, and I just love the attention to detail and everything in these cards. The creator did such an amazing job. My one complaint is when you first get the deck, the gilding. I don't know if you can see. Oops, I'm getting notifications. If you can see that, like, the minute you separate the gilding, you're gonna have like all these little cracks and pulls and tears in it. The gilding just felt like it was really plastic, and I mean, I guess all gilding kind of is, but this one really had like that stretch. And like I said, there's a couple cards where it just damaged the minute you, I don't know if you can see it right there, like here, where it stuck and it pulled it from another card. So you have to be very gentle when you go to separate this deck when you first receive it, because the gilding has like, is like melted onto all the cards together. It's not very nicely separated. So that's my only thing, is that immediately had damage the minute I opened it, and that was very disappointing. And I'm not the only one that's had this issue that I know of, but like the gilding just is not, in my opinion, well done. But that's not the creator's fault. That's who is printing this deck. US Games Systems, US Games, you need to work on that. You need to fix that issue, because this is such a wonderful, beautiful deck. I want to keep it forever, and it's already got damage. So that was not pleasing. But otherwise, a lot of people are mad because I guess the Oracle also is tarot size and the tarot is traditional Oracle size. But with this artwork, I want it as big as possible. I know, I mean, I'm sorry, I maybe am one of the few privileged people that have like really big hands, and I can work with larger cards, and it's not too bad as long as the cards aren't too thick for me. I also don't mind glossy cards. A lot of people don't like that either. Probably because with Oracle size printing, I've heard that there's not as many options for finishes as there are for tarot size. So a lot of times, if you know, you don't get a lot of options besides glossy or matte, and maybe the colors didn't look as good. I don't know. I don't mind a matte card either, but I'm fine with gloss. So yeah, I don't mind the big size. I love that I can see all the detail in this artwork, because I have other tarot decks that are beautiful, but the art is so tiny and delicate, and you almost can't see it in the card. So especially if they got a border, and there's no borders on this. Oh my god, the no borders is also a huge sell for me. I love the backs, you know, just nice reversible backs. Like, creators who don't do reversible backs, please, I am begging you, like, if you're doing tarot specifically. Oracle, I understand. There's a lot of Oracle you don't read reversals, but a lot of us tarot readers, like, reading reversals is extremely common. And the minute you don't do reversible backs, you start to alienate a little bit of your base. So, or at least like make it an option that people can get reversible backs or not. Like, I know this is like just wishful thinking, and it is a minuscule thing. Like, I'm nitpicking for people who don't, but I'm so grateful this one does. I'm so grateful. It's so beautiful. And that's it. That's how I feel. I'm in love with this deck overall. I couldn't have asked for more. I think the artwork works perfectly. I feel like it doesn't feel like they just threw their artwork and hoped it worked for the card. They just slapped on some artwork and said, it's good enough. There's a few tarot decks I have that feels that way, and I'm just like, And so when you get that card, you kind of either have to go into your rote memory on, you know, like read it like a pip, or completely change the meaning. And I have another deck review I'm going to do today where it did that. But if it's consistent through the whole deck, it's one thing. It's just, I don't like it when it feels like it's only a card or two that really don't fit and they didn't care and they just slapped it in there. You know what I mean? Consistency is a good thing. So that's how I feel. I highly recommend this deck. Even for beginner readers, it's one of the first decks I think I reviewed that I'm like, even if you're a beginner, I think this deck is great for you. It has everything you need for an RWS system. It has like a nice little twist if you're not really into the classic style or the dark religious kind of overtones in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I think you'll find that this one is much lighter and airier, and it has, you know, energy from, like I said, all different places, you know, the garden, the city, the sea, you know, you'll feel all of that, and it doesn't feel too honed into one specific realm, but yet its feelings are universal throughout the whole deck. So that's how I feel. Like I feel like I just keep saying the same thing, but I just can't say it enough. I just love it. So please check out this deck if you are interested in it. I think you're gonna love it. And thank you for watching this review. Again, if you liked it, please subscribe, check out more. I do a lot of readings, but I also do deck reviews when I get new stuff in. So I'll have a playlist for all that kind of stuff that'll probably be popping up right now with that. And have a great day, you guys. Please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.